I'll be waiting for you here inside my heart. My career in singing, I started when I was 7, 8. After Indonesian Idol, I started DJing.
People are gonna fall in love with you. They're not gonna fall in love with the facade that you put on social media.
I couldn't even speak English. So I've been singing, I've been DJing, but I could not speak English, like not even like single English. If there is an opportunity in your life, you need to do the follow-up. I couldn't speak English and I had to figure out a way. So I went to online dating and I dated 40 guys. I didn't have a dream. My dream was to work in the gas station.
What's going on, guys? For the 7th episode of the Bastin Show, we have none other than the one and only Armaya Doremi. She came all the way from Indonesia to come talk to you guys tonight. So stay tuned. So tell us, Armaya, don't only tell me, tell the audience as well. Where does your story begin?
My story began, I think, when I was 7.
You think when you were 7, okay.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. I grew up in Indonesia. I grew up in a small village in Indonesia. It's called Binjai. So if my friends in Indonesia heard that name, they were gonna make fun of me because it was so small. I grew up in a beautiful family. When you imagine about the village, a lot of like rooster, pets, a cow, and I had a good childhood, but also I had a tough childhood.
Tough in what sense? Was it
Tough.
Financially tough, mentally tough, emotionally tough?
I think tough in a financially wise, and also I wouldn't say mentally, because maybe mentally, because at the time I was 7 and I didn't know about mental health and stuff, right? So I think the biggest challenge was financial, and then also that influenced the mental health. I wasn't crazy, but it was just like a tough situation, And then I didn't think about that even. Like I grew up poor. So when I grew up, my parents, didn't have money, and I had to work. I had to work when I was 15 to
Support your family.
to support my family. But I told you this, the story began when I was 7. So 7, 8, 9. So when I was 9, I already had that talent. At 9, I started singing already. I started dancing already. So I was creating some creativity in the mid of my poorness situation, if that makes sense.
And where do you think that came from? You think it was Allah?
I think it was, to be honest, I didn't know where it came from, but I think my father had a business. He had a car mechanic business at that time. I had one sister and I had one brother, but my brother died when I was 14. So when I grew up, I just knew that we didn't have anything. But when I looked back, where my sister and my brother's era, they had cars, they had something. But when I grew up, it was like nothing.
They had everything.
They had everything because my father bankrupt. So his business went bankrupt. I don't know what reason. So I think, someone lied to him, and then he had to cover everything. So basically, we didn't have money when I was growing up.
So let's go up until the age of 15, right? You said you started supporting your family at 15 years old. So all that financial burden is on your back. As an individual, how do you feel? What was your thought process at that age?
My thought process was, I was 15. I started working as a sales promotion girl. So it was my first job at the mall. I was handling flyers, and I was just giving to people to come to our booth. When I was 14, my brother died. So when my brother died, everything changed. I felt like we needed a leader in the family. My parents at that time, they were fighting all the time. But when my brother died, it was kind of like shut down. The shut down the family atmosphere, you know. And then when I was 15, I was thinking like, okay, let me work because I needed to have money, but I didn't think that I would provide my family at that time. I wanted to work. I just wanted to, you know, be able to bring food at home and then have that money. And I didn't have a dream. My dream was to work in the gas station, because at that time,
Wow.
I was like, oh my God, we didn't have money. We only eat noodle. We ate noodles, like instant noodles, ramen, Indonesian ramen, for years. And you know, you can't eat that much noodles because it damages your brain. So we eat that because that's the only thing that we can afford, you know. And then I started working when I was 15 because I know that my family needed money. And the first job I had, I got it's $10 a day, $10 a day from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Wow.
And you were standing in the mall with high heels because you need to look beautiful, so that people can get your flyer and then get into your booth. So I get that $10 per day from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. for 3 days. So I had $30, the first money that I got. And when I got home, I split the money with my mom.
Amazing.
And then started at that moment, I got more jobs. I got more project to be sales promotion girls. And then I started again. Every time I went back home, I gave money to my mom, and that opportunity just become more and more to me.
So you use your beauty to your benefit, basically. You use the way you look.
Not really, because at that time I was ugly.
What do you mean you were ugly? Okay.
I think.
How can you be a sales promotion girl?
I think at that time I was 15, right? And then when I was doing the sales promotion girl, oh, hold on, I think we skipped that. So when I was 15, I think, yeah, I was 15. The first job was sales promotion girl, but before that, I was doing a competition, singing competitions, right?
Okay.
So I told you when I was 7, 8, 9, I had performance, like I was dancing and I was doing the karaoke singing competition. So I think I went more than 200 competitions at the time.
You won? Or
I
you
went
to?
to.
Okay.
I went to. I lost. After that, I won. 7, 8, 9. The first song that I sang was Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On.
Give us a little snippet.
I think this song, okay, this is my favorite song. Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you. Woo! That's how I know you. Go on. Near, far, wherever you are, I believe that's the heart that.
All right, that's it. They gotta pay for the rest. All right, continue.
Yeah, so 7th, I was singing at just like karaoke. You know, my dad, like he loves music, and he loves music, and he has a karaoke, he has a microphone, and I was just like starting to sing, and then the entire family and then the entire neighborhood like recognize that your daughter has a good song, a good voice. So that I was karaokeing at home every day, and my dad was supporting me with, you know, like the sound system at that time, and I was just practicing, and then I just realized that there is a singing competition, and I went to the competition. I lost not because I wasn't good enough, but I think I didn't understand. I was coming from the village, and when you wanted to go to the competition, singing competition, you need to have, you know, performances. You need to have a good look, you need to have a makeup on, you need to have your high heels, you need to, smile. I didn't know all of that. I was playing around among cow and then rooster in my backyard. So, and my mom at that time, we didn't have money. So my mom was working so hard, borrowing clothes from my auntie, borrowing high heels from my auntie, and then she changed everything to me and put a lipstick on. I didn't like it. So I think three people before me, I went to the bathroom. I changed everything. I deleted my makeup. I washed everything. I changed. I was just wearing slippers. And then when someone said, "Okay, Armaya Doremi," and my mom was like, "What the hell? I give you all the beautiful dress, but I wasn't comfortable." So I went to those competitions, and then luckily, I was winning. Like I won several competitions.
So let's stop there. Okay, so this is before you knew English.
Before I knew English.
And the first song you said you sang was Celine Dion in English.
In English, and then my go-to competition is "To Love You More" by Celine Dion, which is like harder because the judge has a certain criteria. The most difficult the song is, the more you're gonna get grade. So the song was like, "I'll be waiting for you here inside my heart." That's like a hardest song. And I learned from that competitions, and I won. I got money, and every time I won, I got money. I split it with my mom. I got microphone. I got mattress, the bed mattress. I got that, and until I got motorcycle, because I was the best of the best at one of the competitions at that time. So like a lot of things that I got from singing. So my career in singing, I started when I was 7, 8, 9.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Let's go back to 15 years old.
Go back to 15 years old. I was working as a sales promotion girl. I was handling that flyer in the mall and got like $10 per day from a whole day, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And again, every time I got money, I split it to my mom, and it just like becomes more. And I'm a believer. I'm Muslim, so we believe that every time if you take care of your family, then you will get more and more and more. God will give you more and more. So that's my principle until right now.
Beautiful. And
from that, singing competitions, and then I went to the sales promotion girl, and I went back to singing. When you are in the mall, looking good. Every time we have an event, there is a sales promotion girl and then band, right? Like a band performance, like a full band. When we take a break, I went to the live band and told them, "Can I sing?" So I was wearing like the uniform from the company, but I told the live band, "Can I sing?" And then when I was singing, people were like, "Wow." And then that live band hired me to be their vocalist.
Wow.
And that's how I started working in the cafe that I earned $7 a night from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. Like $7 a night, and then you have to do it three times a week.
Okay.
So I was working, quote unquote, like a night. I was working as a night person. We call it, what is it, a girl night, something like that.
A night performer?
Night performance. That you were singing cafe, singer, cafe and a singer. And a singer at the cafe, right? And as a Muslim, it's not good for a Muslim girl who, stay at night and then work at the cafe.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So it was a pressure because I had to work at the cafe until 2 a.m. and you met people, but also I had to work because I need to provide my family, right? I also did a wedding singer that, because it's a wedding, I got $10 one performance from a whole day, from like 10 to 5 p.m.
Okay, so from what I'm hearing, so $10, $7, that stretches a lot in Indonesia.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So you could buy food, you could buy anything you want.
It was 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Yeah, right now, I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay, so let's continue.
Yeah.
So that's where you're at 15. How long are you in that stage before you get to the next part of your life?
So what changed my life was that Indonesian Idol part. So I was singing 7, 8, 9, and then went to the sales promotion girl at 15, and 15 to 19. So I went out to the Indonesian Idol audition for 4 times, 3 times, 4 times, and then the 5th time I went, like, I'm in, because it was like what, 30,000 people from Indonesia,
30,000.
Right? It's 7,000 people from my hometown itself, and from that 7,000, I was maybe one of the 150 that they will send you to the capital of Indonesia to compete with different states.
Wow.
So it was like what, hundreds, maybe 500 people, and then they synced it again, they filtered it again to 300, and then you went to quarantine, they filtered it again to 150, they filtered it again to 70, they filtered it again to 30 until 24, and I was one of the top 24 workshop Indonesian Idol in 2010.
That's crazy.
When I was 19.
And what opportunities did that bring out for you? After people seen you, right, from your hometown,
Yeah.
other states, what opportunities came of that?
More jobs, people asked me to go, do you want to sing at this event? It's bigger event. It's not only cafe anymore, but car promotions, a gathering, conference. Because at that time, I knew that I was on TV. It was live on TV 2010, but I wasn't really utilizing social media because social media wasn't really a thing at that time. So people knew it from Facebook, that I was on the TV. There was an opportunity that I had to go to the capital because I live in the village, right? After Indonesian Idol, I got eliminated, and I went back to my hometown, and my career stuck there. If you wanna build your career, let's say in America, you have to go to LA, but at that time I was just staying in Boston, for example. So that opportunity was not big enough. I didn't want to go to LA. I didn't want to go to the capital because I was 19. I didn't know anything. I was like, you know what? I was just gonna be at my hometown, and a lot of jobs at that time, like singing, and I was improving the way I dress. I was improving the way I singing. And of course, it wasn't $10 anymore. It's like 15, 20 at that time, and people got to know me more. 2010. After Indonesian Idol, I started DJing.
Okay.
So I had a boyfriend who was DJ, and then after I finished working, I saw him DJing at the club, and I feel like, oh my God, I can do this, because every time I see the DJ playing, I can play with my mind. And then I told him, like, teach me how to DJ. And that's changed everything. That's how I know how to earn, or the first money that I earned, $100, in rupiah. That was when I was DJing.
Okay.
So from $5, $7, $10, and I was able to earn and even touch the cash for $100.
$100 in one
night after DJing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you continue DJing after that?
Yeah, I was. I've been DJing since 2010 to 2020 until right now, actually. But now I wanted to focus on my career, professional career. In Boston, I came to Boston because I wanted to pursue my master's degree. It's more like professional. But if someone wants me to do DJ, I would love to. But it wasn't my focus. But in Indonesia back then, my full-time job, my full-time career was a singer and DJ. That I was built my brand for 10 years.
Nice.
You know, I was able to, I was managing myself as an entrepreneur. You know, my ex-boyfriend taught me how to DJ, and then I bought my own turntable. You know, it was expensive. It was $3,000, and I was able to buy those set, and then flip that into more money. So I was renting all the DJ stuff, you know, and it was in my hometown, especially. It was a big deal because I am a singer and also I'm a DJ. Not all DJ can sing, not all singer can play DJ. So I was, you know, doing my entrepreneurship mindset. I reach out to the club. I have something special for you. We call it DJ Set Live PA. So Armaya Doremi DJ Set Live PA. I'll give you $300 for my performance. You will get DJ and singing at the same time. But if they want to bring DJ and singer, it costs them $500-$600. But I just give them $300.
So you were giving them a package deal. That's what
exactly.
You were doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was doing that for 10 years, and I was making money from that thing.
So I know when we had lunch not too long ago, you told me about the politics, right? And when you got into politics, that's how you kind of made it to Boston, right? You told me that your boss had something to do with sending you here to pursue your master's degree in the school that I'm not going to mention yet. I'll let you mention it.
Yeah, okay.
So tell us about the politics and what you did while you were there.
So from that Indonesian Idol, so from 7, 8, 10, 19, 15, after Indonesian Idol, 2 years after Indonesian Idol, which is 2013, 12, 13, I had enough money, right? I had savings, and I feel like I needed more leverage. So I moved to the capital of Indonesia, Jakarta. I remember I had $4,000 savings that I moved to the capital of Indonesia. I started my career there, and it was blown away because in the nightclub industry, not many people can sing, you know, and celebrities don't really sing at the club. So I was able to build my personal brand. I was collaborating with the famous DJs in Indonesia. So that my name was like up because, oh, who is that girl? Oh, it's Armaya. And let her play in our club again. Let her play in our club again. So my career in Jakarta was just like singing from one club to club. I was traveling a lot because my name was there already. My life, I don't know if you know I don't know if you know how the DJ's life, how I manage myself is that, let's say this is April, right? This is April. I already have the date for June, July.
So you were overbooked, basically.
Because you have to do it. You will get more money if you have the dates from the club, deal from the club. And the club already has their calendar event. So you need to reach out to the club event manager so that they can set up the date for you 2 months before. So if you rely on 1 week, you're gonna die. So I was managing it by myself. I didn't have manager, but I had 2 phones, and I was pretending that I was a manager. So my name is Sally, whatever. So that because in Indonesia, in the nightlife industry, if you have a manager,
they give you more respect.
But if you do it by yourself, like she doesn't have anything. So I was pretending that I was a manager, and then I was able to get into the deal, from 300 to 400 to 500, and even to 1,000.
Okay, so let's stop there a little bit. Okay, so you're hustling by yourself. You came from a village.
Yeah.
You made it all the way to the capital.
Yeah.
You have over $4,000 in savings. What is your mindset, right? What mindset does someone have to achieve all that? You came from a village. You said earlier that your dream was to work at a gas station.
Oh my God, yeah.
So you went from your dream working at a gas station to now playing with the hottest and biggest DJs of Indonesia.
Yeah.
What was your mindset like at that time?
I didn't know at that time. I didn't know. I think my mindset was like I was in the survival mode. You know, I didn't have a dream. When you live in a village, you did not have a dream because you were afraid. People who are in my village right now, even right now, they are very close-minded. We did not know everything. We didn't know anything almost. You know, the school didn't really teach you unless you go to the public school. I'm sorry, private school.
Private school, yeah.
I was lucky. I was in a private school because my mom was working so hard to get me into the private school. But then the reason why I'm like this because my mom was actually working as a housemaid to pay my tuition. So she was cleaning, she was cooking, she was cleaning her sister's house. And because I was 15, I was 14, and I saw her cleaning in the kitchen. I was like, this is what my mom's does. I need to change this. I don't want my mom's work at someone's house cleaning things and then washing their clothes. And that like triggered me. And I had to do something. I did not have a dream. I think when I was young, you know, someone asked you in Indonesia, what's your dream? I just put a teacher, but I didn't mean it. Because everyone has, my friend has like a doctor, pilot. I did not have anything. So I just put a teacher for the sake of like, I'm having it. It was a very bad environment in my village, even right now, you know. And I was in a survival mode. There is no mindset that I want to do this. It just like happened because I did it consistently from that $5, $7. And I was poor, but I wasn't complaining about my life. It just like, this is what it is. And I wanted to figure it out. I wasn't mature. I just wanted to, I didn't even know that I was special to have that voice. I was special to have that ability to, you know, to survive.
Would you say faith played a big part, right? Just the faith and believing that one day you would take care of your family, that would solve everything? Do you think that drove you?
Yes, but again, when I was young, I didn't think about that. You know, you didn't have that thinking. It just like happened.
Just happened.
Now I realize that what I realize right now, what I was doing was because of my family. It's right now, it's even harder. It's the feeling to protect my family. It's even harder because when I looked back, I realized that I remember we only had rice. We only ate rice with soya sauce. And, you know, that's why I didn't like sushi. I didn't like pasta. The first steak that I had was 3 years ago in America.
Wow.
Because we didn't eat pasta. My mom doesn't know what pasta is. You know, we ate only eggs. We had that noodles that, you know, stupid noodles that damages your brain. And then it was beautiful. It was like delicious. And my mom, you know, in Indonesia, there's a superstition. If any food that comes from your mom's hand, it becomes more delicious. So every time we only eat rice, and my mom was like, take it this, and then my mom was like praying so that I can accept the rice. Yeah, it feels like there is a meat in it. Because it's love, you know.
Really? Okay. So let's go to the politics, right? You were DJing, you were in the nightlife. Now let's talk about the politics and how that drove you to come to Boston.
I moved to the capital in 2013. I went to the university. I got my bachelor's.
In Indonesia?
In Indonesia. I got my bachelor's I got my diploma in my hometown, Medan. and I paid my tuition by myself, and that's why I was able to earn money, that $4,000 savings, and I went to the capital of Indonesia, and I felt like I need a degree. So I got my bachelor's degree in public relation in Mustopo, Indonesia for 4 years. And then I had a boyfriend, and he was working in the politics. So he asked me to join the politics, and I was like, oh, I was liking it, because I just realized that I wanted to help people. I realized that I wanted to be in the community, and politics is about community, right? In my opinion, politics is about like how you can make a change, and I wanted to make a change. I was in the politics for a couple of years. I was very active. When it comes to community, when it comes to work, I realized that Armaya Doremi takes seriously about like working. You know, I was active. I was even in when I was in school in Indonesia, 15. I was the part of dancing club. I was part of the cheerleaders club. I was part of every extracurricular that I had in school. I was there. I was very productive among my best friends. And in Indonesia, like that too. Like I was happy, and I was like, I felt like that productivity gives me life. You know, you meet people, you meet poor people, you went to the church, you went to the mosque and helping people, talk to people, socialize with people. I love that. And I was working so hard at the time. I was just like working in the small organization in that political party until I met my boss, and who's right now the governor of Indonesia. And I was working for him. I was working with him for 7 years.
Okay.
I was working for him for 7 years, and he saw my ability. You know, when you will see if someone has a good heart, you will see if someone has an ability, and then he's a leader. He's one of the best leader, one of the most powerful men in Indonesia, and he saw it, and he told me, you need to go abroad to pursue your master's degree. I was like, what? No. What? Because at the time my thinking is like, oh, I'm in the political party right now. I have good boss, has money. I wanted to ask him if he could help me out to build business for my father. But he told me, no. It's if you want to have a business, you need to be there in my hometown. But at that time I was already in the capital of Jakarta, and that's why he said like, go study abroad in Australia. I was 26 years old when it happened. See, 7, 8, 9, 15, 20 DJ until 26 years old. He told me to go abroad in Australia. I couldn't even speak English. So I've been singing, I've been DJing, but I could not speak English, like not even like single English. What I know is about I love you. So whenever I sing, if there's a lyric say I love you, I just like I love you. Other than that, I didn't know. You know, I know how to say how are you? I'm good, period. I know this is like water. I know this is like chair, but I couldn't have a conversation because I didn't learn English. You know, and at that time I learned English in school, but I knew that I'm from the village. I will never ever go to the United States. Why would I learn English? You know, that narrow mindset. So I've never learned any English until my boss told me, go to Australia to get your master's degree.
Why Australia though?
At that time, I don't know, because he said that Australia, and then I told him I haven't finished. This is why I get to Boston. He said Australia, University of Melbourne. And I was like, wow, this is 4 hours. You know what? It's okay. I can deal with 4 hours to far away with my family. The day after tomorrow, I do follow up. This is why you need to follow up. The power of follow up. This is why I know this follow up from my company right now. Everything that, if there is an opportunity in your life, you need to do the follow up. So when my boss told me go to Australia, the next day I asked him, are you sure? Do you want me to study abroad? And he said yes. But I told him I couldn't speak English. Could you please help me to pay my English course because I didn't have money. And he said yes. So I went to the English course the day after. I studied from the beginner level. That course cost money because I was from the bottom. So $2,000 for a year in a dollar conversion. First day, for a year, I stopped working. I was just like study English. I studied English every day, and he saw me. Wait a second, why this girl take this seriously, right? And we had an event in Indonesia. It's jazz event where every musicians from the world came to Indonesia. It's called Java Jazz Indonesia. So a lot of musicians from America came to Indonesia, and I was there because we part of the event organizer. All musicians around the world, like the world, came to Indonesia. So my boss, again, I told you, my boss, one of the most powerful men in Indonesia, and then I was lucky because I could interact with the musicians in person because we are kind of like the host, right? So I couldn't speak English, and to be honest, this is no disrespect, like a lot of musicians from America, black musicians especially, they wanted to get to know me, and I couldn't speak English. I ran away, Why
do you think they were attracted to you?
I don't know.
Well, if
at the time I didn't know. Now I know.
So why is it? Tell us.
I don't know. You tell me. So a lot of like musicians came to me, wanted to talk to me, but I ran away. I remember Eric Benet came to me. How are you doing? We talk. And I just said yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And I was like, excuse me, I wanted to go to the bathroom. Couldn't make any conversation. And when I studied English, I studied for a year, and another jazz festival came in. I was looking for them. I was looking for all musicians that I feel like, you know what, come talk to me, baby. So, Maurice Brown from New York, he won Grammy Awards as a
saxophone.
Not saxophone, no, trumpet.
Trumpet. Okay.
He's the best trumpet, one of the best trumpet in America, in New York. And then Alan Trauman, he's from Hyde Park, so he does the saxophone. And then another Indonesian Idol singer, a lot of David Foster. So I was I challenged myself to talk to them, and my boss saw me. This girl is crazy, and you know what, Armaya? Go to Boston to go get your master's degree. I was like, what, Boston? Yes, go get your master's degree in Boston, and I think these people will help you, because my boss sees that this musicians would help me out and then would take care of me when I'm here in Boston. So I did my research, I applied. I chose Northeastern University because they had a good program for me.
What I think was beautiful about your story is the fact that no matter what life threw at you, you kept asking the questions, you kept being persistent, you kept being consistent as well. Explain to us how important consistency, persistence, and just having a focus is when you're pursuing your career or you're pursuing your dream or passion.
I think consistency is important because you will know, you can track where you are if you're being consistent, right? If you're not being consistent, you don't know where you are, because let's say today you're doing one thing, and tomorrow you're not doing that thing, and the day after tomorrow you're doing the things, and then the week after you're gonna do it again. So with that 1 week, 2 weeks, where are you, right? So, but if you're being consistent, then you know that there's a progress, and when there's a progress, you want to do it more, right? That's the importance of consistency, and it's very important. It's very powerful. Again, follow up that I told you about. If you have an opportunity, follow up, asking questions. If you don't understand, ask questions. That's what I do. And until right now, that consistency has been in my blood since I was 15, and I didn't know what consistency was. But I think to get you to be more consistent, if you have a purpose. If you do not have a purpose, there's no way that you want to be consistent, because you didn't have a purpose.
There's going to be no fuel. It's like having a car with no gas.
Exactly. So you don't have a purpose, you don't have a goal, and then you would think, why would I want to be consistent? Because there's nothing to pursue. Like if you like a girl, you're going to be consistent to pursue that girl, right? Same thing, because you have a purpose. Now, how to find that purpose, how to find a goal so that you can be consistent to pursue that.
And the thing is that your goal has to be bigger than yourself, right? You have to have a goal that's so big that you wake up every day and you're trying, you're consistent, you're persistent. You gotta have something that makes you want to keep going and striving for more. Because if your goal is just to make money, I feel like eventually it's gonna die out. Right? Like if you just want to make the next dollar, it's like, what is really fueling you? Money? No, you need something that is going to give you purpose in life that is bigger than yourself in general. And that's why I love your story so much, because it looks like you're very family oriented and your purpose is serving your family. And that's beautiful, because I feel like modern day individuals, they're chasing money, right?
Yeah.
They're chasing fame. They're chasing likes on Instagram. They're chasing Facebook. But in reality, what's real is love. What's real is family. What's real is community, right? That's what really matters. And that's why I needed you to come on, because when I did hear your story, all I seen was love. All I seen was family, and all I seen was community. And that's what was beautiful.
And speaking about the dream big things, I did not dream big until I think last year. I think when you want to, it's easy to say like, oh, dream big, but are you confident enough to create that dream? Because I wasn't confident, because even though I believe in myself, but I was afraid to tell, I want this, I want that, right? I think to get into that point, you need to be around people who have that mindset. I work in a company where the company will help us to dream big. I work at Lily Fresh Pasta. We have a great community. We are a people company, right? So every single day, our visionary Antonio DeLelio motivates us to dream big. So the more I hang out with them, the more I vision myself to dream big. But when I was in Boston, it's 4 years ago, when I was in school, what am I gonna do after school? I got my master's degree. What am I gonna do? But I wasn't surrounded by those people. But I was in a survival mode. Yes, I needed a job. I was consistent. But to get that dream, to get that big dream or dream big that we talk about, you need to surround to the right people. It's contagious, right? You feel like, oh my God, I want to be like them. And now I dream big right now.
Exactly, and that's why they say you're the average of the 5 people that you hang around with the most, because it's called the power of proximity. If you're around 5 bums, you're gonna be the 6th bum. If you're around 5 billionaires, you're gonna be the 6th millionaire. And that's why it's important to cultivate your surroundings, right? It's important to cultivate your peers. It's important to cultivate your group, because that's the direct impact that you're gonna have in your life. And like you said, Antonio, your visionary, your boss, he put in your mind, right? He put in your community's mind that you have to dream big. You know why he did that? So that if you're dreaming big and there's one day where he's not dreaming big, you're gonna indirectly affect him as well.
Yeah.
So he wants to make sure, like, I'm not gonna be 100% every day, but if I'm 20% and my team is 80, I get up to that 100. And that's what's important. He wants to keep his visions big as well. Because one day you might have a vision that becomes bigger than him. And that's what's important. It's all about the impact. But then if you're there and you're dreaming down here and he's dreaming down here, where are you guys gonna go?
You're not growing.
Exactly. You're gonna stay down here. So that's extremely important. Okay. So let's talk about Boston.
Boston, oh.
Let's go.
My favorite city.
Your favorite city.
Yeah.
Now you live in Boston on your own, which is beautiful. And again, I keep using the word beautiful because I'm inspired. Like, that's why I want her here. But she's in Boston, guys, and she's still taking care of her family back home. And she's been doing that since she was 15 years old, for over 10 years, over a decade. That's insane. So tell us about Boston. When you first got here, let's say the airport, how are you feeling?
God.
How are you feeling? What was going on?
Did I tell you that? No. Hey, did I tell you about that?
No.
So I was on the plane. So basically, you know, we did research about Boston, like, oh, it's snowing, it's da-da-da. Okay, I got my coat on. I bought from Zara. And I arrived. It was the end of 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what happened at the time? The second
COVID?
largest snowstorm.
Snowstorm, okay.
After 2015.
Okay.
Okay. And my coat was not warm enough because you bought it in Indonesia, you know. So I arrived. I did not have any card. I did not have any Uber, you know, because here the Uber needs to tie with your credit card. I didn't have a credit card. In Indonesia, you can pay cash with Uber, you know. So, okay, da-da-da. I opened the door. It was snowing and so cold. I was like, oh my God. No. I went back inside. This is crazy. This was so cold. I was like, oh my God. I don't know. It was snow everywhere in the airport. And then I had, you know, I think I had a friend from New York. So I bought a card in the airport and I called him. I needed to get into my dorm. So, you know, I had an agency from Indonesia to find me a dormitory, right? So I asked him, you know, can you please Uber me whatever? So I made it to my my dorm, and my English was so-so, like was bad at that time, 5 years ago. And I remember the first thing that came in mind, like Boston was beautiful. And then, you know, Storer Drive. So I lived in Fenway. So from the airport, you went to that Charles River, Storer Drive. And I was like, wow, this is Boston. I couldn't believe that I was in Boston at the time. I was amazed with, you know, with the scenery. I was amazed with like all the lights, you know, in that building. It was just like so beautiful. And I love Boston because Boston was the first city that I've been in America, you know. And then, okay, nice. I slept. I went to my dorm. Like, oh my God, this is what, $14,000, $1,500 in a room, small room that you share with other students. So 2 bedrooms in 1 room, no privacy, you know. I remember the first person that I spoke to was like the security in the dorm. I was asking him, where is the 7-Eleven? And he was speaking so fast, I didn't understand anything. And I learned the culture. The first year was so hard. The first year was like crazy. The second year I was trying to understand. The third year I was adapting to the culture. The fourth year I was like, you know what? I'm not playing game anymore. I am getting into the game, Boston game. And in 5 years, you know what? I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna have a big plan in Boston. So those like the steps. Yeah.
Let's go to the end, right? So 2021, you graduated top of your class.
Yeah.
You became the 2021 commencement speaker. How did that come about?
So I couldn't speak English when I was in school. I did everything, you know, again, consistent, persistent. So in the first 4 months in Boston, I couldn't speak English and I had to figure out a way. So I went to online dating and I dated 40 guys.
Wow.
In Boston for 4 months to just like speak English. You know, not disrespect all the guys that I dated at the time, I just wanted to speak English with you guys. But the reason why I chose online dating, because I wanted to speak English. I couldn't learn it with Boston girls because they speak so fast, right? But with the guy, they have a passion in you, and you go over restaurants. So I went to the same restaurant. It's called Happy Lemon in Cambridge. Everything was only first date. 4 months, I improved my English a little bit because every time I meet people, they're gonna ask you, how are you, how do you like Boston, how long have you been here? So like all the tenses, they ask the same question. And every time I went after dating, what did I learn from today? Okay, I just wanted to have friends, but then it was impossible because you went to online dating. So from 40 guys, 3 out of 40 are my friends right now.
Wow.
Who really care about me. The other than that, they only want to have different thing, I didn't know what Netflix chills was. I didn't know what hookup meant was at that time. And everyone would just want to hook up with me and what is this? What is this? I wasn't looking for that. So that was the way I study English. And in school, I was utilizing all resources. I had my tutor. I went to like all the resources in Northeastern University. Writing center, speaking skills, every little thing. I did not go out only for dating because I wanted to practice. So I was consistent. I was being persistent. I was like really focused on the things, on my homework. I came early. I sit at the first. I didn't want to sit at the second row. I want my professor sees me like, oh, Armaya is here. I ask questions. I submit the homework earlier. I went to the library until 2 a.m. in the morning. Everything that I did to get into the best students. Because when I came to Northeastern, I was like, damn, this is my school. I just want to be the best. So every day I track my progress. I just want to get an A, and I'm cum laude, right? And I was active in school. As I told you, I was productive. I hang out with professors. Then I feel like I wanted to do something, and I became a commencement speaker because I applied. I reached out to the faculty. Can you please give me the recommendations? And then I was the first Indonesian commencement speaker at my program at that time. 500 people, I think, applied for the commencement speaker, and then I was chosen.
That's
because
crazy.
They like my story. You have to submit the video, you have to write the script, and then you have to do the video for 5 minutes, no editing.
And that goes back to the power of following up, like you said earlier.
I told, hey, professor, I know that the comment speaker is coming. I really want to be comment speaker. Would you please help me to recommend? Some people don't know how to play the game. Like, I want to play the game. I want to have my form submitted, and also I want to have additional support. That's called like you have to play smart, not play hard. And my story was so good. And even though they already chose me as a commencement speaker, I didn't stop there. I reached out to another professor. Professor, I needed help. So I was studying, I was practicing every single day, even 5 minutes before I went to the stage, And that was one of the most powerful speech at that time.
I seen it. So on YouTube, from what I could see, from what I remember, it was 12,000 views.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And that was in front of a class of how many people?
What do you mean?
Like, how many people did you speak in front of?
Oh, I forgot, like hundreds. And then virtual, it was after COVID, right? We didn't have commencement speaker after COVID. So it was virtual. And that clip was played in the several television in Indonesia, because they know that I'm coming from the village, but I could be standing in the Vanway Park and then speech. And then on top of that, I was the top recognition of the year. So it was the best student based on the project that I had. So I had a last project, and I told, you have a group project. I didn't want to take a group project. I told my professor I want to do it by myself. So everyone has a group project. I was the only one who had a personal project, and I did it for 3 months, and then everything in A, and then I became the top recognition of the year.
How does your parents feel, right? They might not understand everything that's going on.
They
They don't understand, but they saw you on TV, right?
I just told them like, hey, Mom, I want to give a speech. Oh yeah, okay. Just okay. What is it? So, my family did not understand how hard it is to be me, and I don't want them to know. My mom didn't know when I was sick. My mom didn't know when I was broken heart. My mom didn't know when someone rejected me. My mom didn't know when someone really hurt my feeling. My mom didn't know where everyone, look at me. Oh my God, this girl is from Asia. Okay. My mom didn't know everything. What they know is that Armaya loves them, and that's what I want them to know.
That's beautiful.
Because I don't want them to think about, like we're far. I've never seen my family for 4 years. I just want them to be happy, and if I'm tired, if I'm like feeling pressure at work, they didn't know. They didn't know anything.
It's beautiful. So you have a group called Study with Armaya, right? You went through all your trials and tribulations. You built up your English to bring it to what it is today. That's why you're here today, right? You're in front of my audience. They're going to be tuning in.
I love you, Lawrence. You're going to stuck with me. You're going to ask him to get an episode too.
Lawrence, Boston, we have people everywhere. But yeah, you're here. You have Study with Armaya. Tell us a little bit about what that is.
So Study with Armaya is my baby, Study with Armaya. I wanted to give back to the community in Indonesia. And the reason I created that because I wanted to share my knowledge. I wanted to share my experience for the people who wanted to go to America study, but they don't know how to start, because that's where I was coming from. I did a research about Boston. Some people wanted to give me the information, some people didn't want to, but I want to be someone who can be resourceful for all Indonesian student. So at that time, the name was not Study with Armaya, the name was like Study in USA. I was like, 2 months before I graduated, I wanted to do something for my community. What should I do? I really wanted to have a webinar. So that name, Study with Armaya, I created a webinar, how to prepare to study abroad. I just created an Instagram, and I put an ad on it. 70 people joined. 70 people joined. They know me. Some of them don't know me because they're from different places in Indonesia. Because my background was a singer. Not many people know that my background is educational. I love educational part as well. So I created that. 70 people came in. It was 4 hours webinar. No one's left. I created a nice PDF. I'm really good at design, because I'm passionate about social media. So I prepared everything. 70 people came in. 4 hours non-stop. I was talking for 4 hours.
And everybody stayed.
No one's left. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And I made it again. I created in the second webinar, how to prepare to study abroad, part 2. The numbers double. 140. 4 hours. You know what? I'm going to make this consistent. So I need to play around. I did a research about I wanted to create a course, an online course. I did my research, YouTube, everything, all my notes, and I came up with a theme. I had scholarship talks. So I have a good network in Boston. So I bring guests who got a scholarship and then talk to my Indonesian in the webinar, share their experience. I have English with native speakers. So I have people like you coming into webinar so that my my members will have a chance to speak with native, because you have to pay to speak with native in Indonesia. So I'm giving them for free. I'm bringing different guests. I had international students talk. So like how it is to be international students in Boston, and then they share their experience. You know, I have like a little, until everything was free until I charged them money. Because I feel like, this is like everything everything is hourly in Boston, and I just want to help them. And sometimes they don't have money. You know what? You don't have money? Yeah, I don't have money. Okay, you can come. You can still come to my course, because it's a non-profit, but also I want to have a little profit, and then 20% of that I give that to the orphanage. So the money that I raise from Study with Armaya, I give it to my community for orphanage who didn't have parents. So I'm really literally doing this because I want to help them, and I want to get that. I want to make it bigger. And then the 99% people who join my webinar, they improved. They went to they got accepted from the university. They got accepted from their interview, their writing skills, their confidence. So my program is like how I don't teach English, but I coach them how to be confident in speaking English, because you need to have a motivation to speak English. They are discouraged by the environment in Indonesia. People don't want to support them to speak English, but I'm here that I encourage them. If I could study English for 1 year, I was 27 when I studied English. It was horrible, but you guys study English since you were 10, 12, 15. Now you're gonna do better than me. So that's like how the Study with Armaya came.
Do you find that your confidence, your ambition, and your visions are intimidating to people? Like, do you ever get around people and feel like they kind of don't like you because of who you are?
I don't know that. How do I know that?
What do you mean? I mean, it's a feeling. Okay, so you wouldn't know that. Because when somebody, put it this way, right? And I say that because when you have a lot of ambition and you're very confident, and you get around someone who's not confident, you look at them and you see they're like, I don't really like this. They're not gonna say it, but you could feel it. Like, you could feel the jealousy, you could feel the envy.
Yeah, I think I felt that enviness from the people. I saw it. Yeah, I see that in Indonesia, for example, right?
You clearly have a passion for social media. Tell us a little bit about your passion for social media, and tell us how you managed to finagle your way into all these companies and businesses that you currently work for.
I've been using social media to build my brand since 2010. So when I was singing, when I had a performance, when I was DJing, I used that platform to promote. So I realized the power of social media 12 years ago. But algorithm was not coming into place. Strategy was not coming to place because it was just like a platform, right? But I already built my audience from 0 to 100, 5,000, 6,000 organically, until 10,000. But even now people are talking about like algorithm. Oh my God, the algorithm is stuck whatsoever, because a lot of people are coming in using social media, right? But now I think people misunderstood about social media, and then some of them don't know it's not the rules, like the beauty of social media. There's the code behind that. There is an algorithm behind it. So basically, social media is not a pure place. It's just like a tool, the algorithm, the code behind the technology that people think that it's real, but it's actually not real. I'm passionate about social media because I know this is powerful, and right now even social media was in the course, right? It's Northeastern, they thought about social media, and that's what my project came from, social media. The first project that I had was a research and awareness for restaurant. So I did my project social media, and at that time I wanted to kind of like having my own project. So I had my clients. I help small businesses in Boston to leverage the social media. So I manage the social media, I make content, I created social media strategy, I did my research about social media development, social media management. And before I joined Lily's, I already took some projects from small businesses in Boston. And Lily's was one of the companies that wanted to, leverage their social media presence. And I came in, and now I'm a full-time social media content manager that will help Lily's to develop their marketing through social media. So I love it. I'm passionate about it, and I'm using that for my personal. And I think social media is very important and is a powerful tool for you if you have a brand and if you know how to use it. But some people don't know the beauty of social media, that even though we are online, but some of not conservative people, not conservative politics, but some of the conservative people, they think that people who are on social media are showing off. But you know what I mean, people who just like consume to like scroll down, then don't take an action, those are the people who just like watching it, but
who have the judgment,
a judgment, right? You're not doing anything, you don't post anything, but when someone posts something, then you judge. And that's why people on social media, even though they don't know each other, but they're closer because they're a content creator, they are the creator that they want to pursue something good, right? So I have maybe 30 influencers that I close with that I haven't met, so I think we need to really be mindful about social media, how to use it, and how we can support your friends who have business through social media.
Completely. And you have about 16,000 followers. For the audience that's listening and people who want to build their personal brand, because I know social media is a huge tool for personal branding, what tips and tricks can you give them, right? Things that are off the books, things that you can't find. Like, what do you know about the algorithm that you can share with the audience today that can help them grow their brand?
Be honest.
Be honest.
Be honest, be real about your brand. I think right now people want to see the authenticity. People want to see who really you are. People want to see how you're gonna impact and influence other people. So be real, be who really are, and then what you can give it to them. It's not about you, it's about people, right? So if you want to post something about you, people are not interested in you. You need to be interested in people first to make people to be interested in you. So you put content, educational content that can help people to be interested in you, because you're interested in people, you're interested in helping people, right? So that's like the reciprocity come in, and that's how you generate customers or new audience, because you put valuable content there. But it's hard for the company though sometimes, and it's hard for some influencer or some content creation, and a lot of people are struggle from social media, and then that's fine. That's the beauty of it. You just need to play around with social media, and then again, be real. You cannot fake it, because if you fake one time, then you need to fake it again. You're not gonna find your niche. Your niche, your comfortable place, right? But if you do it consistently, and or this content is not working, this content is working.
And that's what people don't understand, right? Like, people are gonna fall in love with you. They're not gonna fall in love with the facade that you put on social media. Like, being authentic is how you build that authentic brand. But a lot of people, they want to be cool with the flashy cars, the flashy watch. They want to have the rented houses. But in reality, that's not gonna attract anything but jealousy and people that don't really know you for you. So even with myself, when it comes down to my social media, I started being more authentic. I was talking to you earlier about my stutter. I used to stutter so bad that like I used to turn around and walk away, but I was scared to put that story out because I was like, who cares? But now I know, like, after I put that story out, people reached out to me. They're like, yo, I used to stutter too. Yeah, I could flip it, but they told me, they're like, yo, I used to stutter too. And I'm like, wow. I thought I was here alone. Only black guy in Lawrence, you know what I'm saying? So that's important. And that's what I love about your social media. It's like an open diary when I look at your social media. It's like I'm going, because you're Muslim, so I'm going to the mosque with you, and then one day I'm at the mosque, the other day you're at Lily's Fresh Pastas, the next day you're at the 10X convention, which is beautiful. So I like, keep it up. That's why I'm saying
Thank
that.
you.
And I'm just watching your journey as you go. It's like a book. It's like you're reading a virtual book. It's beautiful. So Bent, right? Bent Entertainment, Bent Brunches, Bent whatever.
We need to pay for this. This is advertising.
But Bent, it is advertising. But Bent, that's actually where we met. I saw you actually in a suit and you were working. And I was like, you know me, I'm the type of person, when I go into an establishment, I like to see who's in the room and who's running things. That's how I work. So even if I'm going there to have a good time, my entrepreneurial mind is still working. Like, who's in position, who's moving things.
And
that's when I seen you. I was like, is that Armaya? No, I'm joking. I didn't know who you were at the time.
Who is that Asian girl in the middle of black people?
Yeah. Literally, it's all black people.
Clearly, I was the only Asian.
Yeah, you're the only Asian. And I seen you with a phone, and I had to say something. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't remember what I said, but
I said like, "Oh, you're cool. You know, I like you work so hard. I think you're the most working person in this industry." You said something, and then keep in touch. You said.
Yeah, that sounds like me, but I seen you working, and I came up to you. But how did you finagle your way into the Bent Brunches and the Bent Entertainment?
At that time, last year, in March, right? I broke up with my ex-boyfriend, and I had a very tough year last year, like a very tough. I broke up with my ex-boyfriend. I had COVID. I was unemployed. I was almost homeless, half not. And then I was with a guy for almost 1 year, and then wanted to take it seriously, and then I broke up. Then I had I almost had a problem with visa, right? Because for international students, you need to have work visa or like legal things to say in America. And at that time I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? So I was working so hard to get my visa. And the visa that I have right now was actually one of the hardest visa that you can get in America. It's called artist visa. It's called O1B visa, where you need to have an extraordinary ability to prove to the government that you deserve to be here. So I was working so hard. I didn't have place. I stayed at the hotel. I stayed at my professor's house, who helped me for the commencement speech for a month. I was staying at my first ex-boyfriend at the time, so I was like moving around, and then saved money to pay a lawyer. And after breaking up with my ex-boyfriend, and I feel like I needed to get out. I don't like to go to the party. Because I used to be DJing. I used to be a DJ for 12 years. I never paid to go to the event. Every time I go to the club, I am the star, and I don't want to be standing in front of the DJ booth and then doing some praising the DJ, because it's not just me. No disrespect, but okay. I saw Bent. I asked around like, hey, where can I go to Boston? Because I don't go to the club. And I think Bent page came in, and I saw, and then I talked to the founder, Duke. I didn't know the name was Duke. Hey, Bent. Again, back to the social media. I was passionate about social media. Every time I see the opportunity, I can see that there is an opportunity to grow. And I talked to Bent, like a DMing, hey, I can help you with the social media marketing. Let's meet. and I went to their event. And even though I went to that event, I was again following up, like, hey, I like the event, I would love to talk more. And then the founder came to me, and then he said that, yeah, we needed help for this one. We need, you know, if you can help me for market that event. It's called All the Fields. We have also brunch. And then, okay, I came there. I did one event, like I was helping them, and this is the content, they liked it. And then until right now, and now I help Band, you know, to grow their social media presence, and then there's also revenue for followers wise, from 6,000 to now almost 13.
Wow.
Organically, by being consistent, and then, you know, just like to understand the audience for Band, and then putting the real and authentic content to the audience.
Amazing. Okay, you touched a little bit upon being half homeless and living in a hotel. And when we met up, you told me that story, and that was a beautiful story. I want you to tell the audience that story as well. How you leveraged, you could tell it, you leveraged your ability to do what you told me.
Which part? Being homeless to do the social media?
So doing the social media with the hotel.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I stayed in the hotel because it was emergency, right? I subleased my room because my ex-boyfriend wanted to go to Indonesia. So we had an agreement in March. I went back to Indonesia, and my boyfriend would come. My ex-boyfriend would come to Indonesia. So I subleased my apartment, and we broke up after I subleased it. And I didn't have a place, and the only place that would open for me was hotel, and I had a good networking with the hotel. So I talked to the hotel, like, hey, can I stay there in your hotel, and then give me an influencer price? And then the manager gave me influencer price. That was a very good deal. You know, I stayed for 7 days in exchange to make a content for that hotel, and then promote everything in the hotel. So I was staying in the hotel, but I was also working. And then people are like, Armaya, you just moved out and you moved into the hotel? But people, they don't know the story. And after a week, should I go back to Indonesia or should I stay? Should I go back? I didn't have a visa. And then, you know what? Let me extend my stay in the hotel. So I was staying there for a month. And that was my Ramadan last year. I was in the hotel. And then, you know what? I didn't have, you know, it's you know, even though they have a discount, it's still expensive. So I talked to my professors. You know, I stayed in the Foxborough in the basement for a month. I was recharging myself, and then make a to-do list, and then do the visa. So I was like really pay attention to like what I want to do in Boston. Again, consistent follow up. You know, I reach out to Lily Fresh Pasta. Hey, you know, I can do the social media for you. Hey, I was looking. No, we don't have right now, Armaya, but can you do part-time for content creation at Food Show? Okay, I came down. I showed up early. At the time, I still, you know, had a broken heart. I worked part-time for Lily Fresh Pasta, and then I told them again, I'm looking for full-time, but I need a sponsorship. And you know, they said like, okay. For 4 months, I was waiting for the approval, and then I got sponsorship. And it takes patience, you know, patient and consistent persistence. Because Lily Fresh Pasta, before they sponsor me, they were thinking about it for 4 months. You know, it's not easy to just like sponsor someone because they don't trust you yet, right? But
and that could have discouraged you.
Yeah. But I was in a survival mode. I needed a job. Not only I needed a job, I just need to do anything that I needed to do. I called the visionary. I called Antonio. Do you still want to sponsor me or not? Hey, Antonio, you're busy. He's a very busy guy. But after 4 months, he said yes, and then no, yes, no, yes, no, until he said yes. Do you know why? I just knew it from him that I sponsor Armaya because she showed me how important it is to be consistent and persistent. So he sponsored me because he knows that this girl is not gonna give up. Because even though I ignore her, she still follows up with me. She still contact me. That's why I told you the power of consistency and then the power of, you know, being able to be persistent. If you wanna something, get it. And I got it right now, and I'm so grateful that I could be in America working for a company, a beautiful company, and I wanted to impact more people. I want to be valuable, resourceful for my company that I work for my community, and for myself.
Amazing. Okay. If you could leave the audience with some words of encouragement, something you've learned while you were here, what would the words be?
Be kind. Be kind. It's really important because my life has been blessed because of the kindness that I show to the people. You know, don't stop to learn. Like, never stop to learn something new. If you learn something new, just like one thing for a day, and if you do it every single day for a month, you're gonna double that knowledge. And if you have that skills, then you can use that skill to leverage. You know, you can get more money. I was studying for social media for a month, and now, you know, I can leverage that. So be kind. Never stop to learn something new, and be patient. Pray, believe that in this world, this universe is not running by itself. You know, we don't know what's happened up like in the universe, but I think prayers work. You know, so it's a combination of work hard and then prayers, and be mindful. You know, don't hurt people, because we don't know, you know, having a good intention to people. You know, because we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know what happens to you. I don't know what's happened to him, but if you can just be kind and give a smile to people and care about them, it will reduce their stress. It will reduce at least their problem. You know, so be kind to anybody around you. Anybody. When I say anybody, it's anybody. Have an empathy, sympathy to people.
And before we close out, we want a little performance. Give us something.
Do you have $100?
I got a high five.
But I want to have a music. I don't want to do a cappella. Oh, look at that. Can I get my phone? What song do you want? I'll give you a good one.
What should we play?
This is one of my So I'm gonna sing. This is Lawrence, okay? Lawrence people, I want to say thank you so much. I've been here in Lawrence several times at Ben event. I heard that you guys are cool, and this is my first time in Lawrence. I'm gonna be coming back, so I'm gonna be singing my favorite song.
Wait, hold on. Who brought you here? Who brought you to Lawrence?
You.
And who am I?
Bastien.
Exactly. I'm joking.
So Lawrence, this is my favorite song.
What is it?
It's called "I Will Always Love You" from Whitney Houston.
My sister. Yo, you need a FaceTime. FaceTime my sister.
What?
Quick. She loves this song.
No way.
She loves this song. I'm gonna tell her to not talk though.
We'll track the price of your flight.
Hold on.
So you can decide when
Damn, but I don't want that thing to
I know. Hold
copyright.
on.
I don't want copyright.
Where's your sister?
I'm gonna FaceTime her right now.
You're not gonna copyright. Ready? Should I sing now?
Hold on. Give me a sec.
Your sister's sleeping.
Yo, yo, Kim. I'm here with Armaya, and she's gonna sing your favorite song, "I Will Always Love You" by Whitney Houston.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
If I should stay, I would only be in your way. So I'll go, but I know I'll think of you every step of the way. And I will always love you. I will always love you. You, my darling, you. Bittersweet memories. That is all I am taking with me. Again, this is for Lawrence. I love you, Lawrence. I'll be back. Bastien will bring me back. So follow his Instagram, BASTIENDRIP. Don't forget to follow me too, Armaya Doremi.
I'm ready.
Darling, I love you. Oh, always, always love you.
So guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with everybody you know. Follow me at BASTIENDRIP and follow her at
Armaya Doremi.
spell it for them.
ARMAYADOREMI. Armaya Doremi Fa Sol La Si Do. You know, Do Re Mi Fa Sol La Si Do, Do Si La Sol Fa Mi Re Do.
Okay. And at the end of the day, it's BASTIENDRIP, the flyest in the city.
And Armaya Doremi, the
we out.
Queen of Boston.
The Queen of Boston. And we out.
Bye.